Shelley J. Correll is the Barbara D. Finberg Director of the Michelle R. Clayman Institute for Gender Research. At Stanford, she is also a professor of sociology and a professor of organizational behavior by courtesy at the Graduate School of Business. An internationally renowned expert in gender and workplace dynamics, Correll's research has been featured in top sociology journals as well as media outlets such as the New York Times and The Nation. Shelley travels across the world speaking about reducing gender inequality and bias. Of all of Shelley's talents, what I respect and admire most about her is her unwavering dedication to creating feminist change. Every day, she contributes to a more just and inclusive world. She makes change happen. This dedication was clear when Ashley and I brought up the idea for a gathering of online feminists. Despite the number of programs happening at the Clayman Institute and the flurry of activity there, she was immediately enthusiastic and clear about the importance of such a conference. We are appreciative of her support and leadership. Please join me in welcoming Shelley Correll.
Thank you for making the trek over and joining us today. I was asked to provide a few remarks about the Clayman Institute and just give you a sense of some of the kinds of things that we do there, and to say a little bit about why I think this conference is so important to us. And I'll just want to start first by acknowledging the people who contributed funds to help support this conference and make it happen. And it's really, to me, important when we do something like this on campus that we have sort of broad support from people around the campus. And so we have sponsors that include the Vice Provost for Undergraduate Education here, and we have some undergraduate students joining us. We have support from the Center for Comparative Studies of Race and Ethnicity, the Women's Community Center here at Stanford, the Department of History, the Department of Sociology, and the Program in Feminist Gender and Sexuality Studies. And I would like to just send out a special thanks also to Ashley and Allison for organizing this day for all of us. So a bit of background on the Clayman Institute. The Clayman Institute was founded in 1974 with the mission of promoting research that advances gender equality. So that's what we've been up to for the past 40 years. It's interesting to think about that. That means the Institute was created just 10 years after the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And so when this Institute was created, we were in a period of time when there was a lot of enthusiasm for promoting all kinds of equality. And indeed, in terms of gender equality, in the 1970s and 1980s, we saw a rapid increase in gender equality. The wage gap started to narrow. Women were moving into leadership positions. Things were just getting better, better, better. And myself, mid-1980s, I go to college. I'm very optimistic that we're just on this upward trajectory, and surely by the time I, get out of college, we're going to be there. It's a straight line up. And I've always been optimistic, but I especially was then. And then what happened is about the mid-1990s, progress towards equality just stalls. And the gender wage gap is clear evidence of this. We make progress, and then it just flatlines after that. Women moving into leadership positions, similar kinds of things. It just kind of stalled. And so what we've been focusing on lately at the Institute is trying to understand why that stall has happened, and in particular to think what we might be able to do to jumpstart the gender revolution again. How can we get us going? So today, the way I think about this conference is that what I want to think about is what is the possibility for online activism for jumpstarting the gender revolution and moving us forward? What are the new possibilities? What are the new challenges? What are the old challenges that are taking on sort of new looks in the online environment, if you will? And in particular, we're interested in how we might build better bridges using online platforms, build better bridges across some of the divides that have separated us as feminists. These could be divides across racial lines, but also divides across generational lines, across different forms of sexuality and sexual identity, class divides. What is the possibility of the internet to build better bridges? As Paula Giddings, who will speak next, has convincingly shown with racial divides, that progress towards gender equality, when we've seen progress, it's been periods of time when women have worked together across racial lines. So can online platforms help with that, for example? Or do they create new barriers? Or do they resurrect age-old barriers that we've seen for forever? As we know, and as Ashley pointed out, working across difference can be challenging. We all come here today with different experiences, different cultural backgrounds, different priorities, and different strategies. So, we bring a lot of different things to the table. Not only that, but out in our lives, because of our differences, people out there react differently to us. So, even if we're not all that different, people are reacting to us differently. My own field of social psychology shows this very clearly. In American society, when people enter into an interaction with each other, think about meeting someone you've never met before, in less than a millisecond, they notice three things about the person that they're interacting with: the person's gender, their race, and their age. In less than a millisecond, we notice these things. Unconsciously, categorize the person that we're interacting with. And when we do that, the stereotypes that we have about groups are available to color those interactions, okay? And so a lot of my research has really been about trying to understand that process. How does that make it, interacting across difference challenging? How does that reproduce inequalities, even unintentionally? So we've got a lot of, challenges facing us today. Yet, if we share the goal of advancing gender equality, I think we have to find a way to be able to build the bridges between the divides that otherwise separate us. I believe we have the right people in the room to explore these very difficult questions. And as Allison said, we're not necessarily here to get to answers and solve all these things. Otherwise, I think we would feel like we had, a big task in front of us. But we're here to, I think, explore ththose questions and maybe to ask some new questions. We have put together an intentionally diverse group of people, okay? We come from different backgrounds. We have different races, different ethnicities. We have difference in age. We have people ranging from high school students up to people who, are much older than that. We won't say how old. And everything in between. As Allison said, collectively we are activists, we're scholars, we're writers, we're bloggers, we're people who have expertise in feminism, online communities, online technology, online activism. So we bring a lot of different things together. My hope for today is that we can draw on these diverse feminist experiences to figure out ways to better leverage our online platforms to build bridges and to form alliances that allow us to move forward in terms of gender equality. We have to admit, in many ways, this conference is an experiment, okay? The topics are new, the format is really new. There's things on this sign that like storify that I don't even know what it is, okay? So, but I'm hoping to by the end of today. So this conference is a bit of an experiment, and we appreciate you taking this leap of faith with us, and I'm just eager to see what we're all able to do here together. So I want to just put in one plug for people who are in the Bay Area before I leave the stage. If you're interested in topics like this and you're in the Bay Area, next week on Thursday here at Stanford, we are having Anita Hill's going to be on campus, and she's going to actually be here Wednesday and Thursday screening her new film on Wednesday, and an all-day conference around Anita Hill on Thursday. So I'd invite you to come to that if these sorts of topics are of interest to you. Anyway, let's have a great day together. I think we can do good things, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens. Thank you.